everybody. This is Lori Key, and I am the Realty Goddess of Los Angeles, California, and I help to establish the community one house at a time. And it is time for Chatterbox. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
I am good. I'm so glad to see you today. We have both been so busy.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get everything done. And today we got to finish our one deal and close her up.
I know. So after we get finished, I'm off to a walkthrough, and Tammy and I are closing a deal this week together. That is what we do. We've been partnered together since 2010. So when I say that Tammy is the best of the best, I mean that Tammy is best of the best. Tammy, how long you been in the business?
Vice versa, Laura.
Thank you. Thank you. Tammy, how long you been in the business?
Well, I've been a licensed loan officer since 1999 and in the the mortgage banking business since 1986.
You said 1999. Of course, I always think of the Prince song.
I know.
So Tammy, a part of the things that we do is a lot of paperwork, and there's a lot of things that people get confused on. And one of the things is APR. It can get confused very easily, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to ask you to please explain to everyone, what is APR?
Well, real quick, APR, or annual percentage rate, reflects your mortgage interest rate plus points or any points, mortgage broker fees, and other charges that you may pay to get the loan. So really it's used as a shopping tool for the borrower or buyer. And for example, let's say that you are quoted from one bank 3.5% and the APR is 4%. And then you go to the next lender and they say the rate's 3.5% based on your loan scenario, but the APR is 3.8%. Then you know that second guy has lower costs. Pretty much that's how it works.
Okay, so who's responsible for paying that? Some people say, because they get confused, they're like, does the seller pay that for me, or do I pay that? Where does that fee come from? Who pays that?
If it's a purchase transaction, then the APR is generally the buyer or borrower's responsibility because it's their loan that we're quoting on.
Right. So that goes a part of your buckets. I explain to people closing costs and down payment assistance, and each fee is a bucket. So this would be its own special bucket that you would pay for your deal. So
there are exceptions though, sorry.
No, go ahead. Tell me.
Exception, like if we show some of the seller fees that are disclosed in that particular transaction, that's because escrow gave us that information. And then we put that in a seller paid section, and it could potentially affect the APR, but you do see that the seller is going to pay that cost.
So there you go. You know, it can go many different ways, as well as closing costs themselves, guys. Because sometimes if you're the buyer and you're asking the seller to pay your closing costs, all of this can be included in there. So some of the fees that you're told that are normally regular buyer's fees, if you're asking from a seller, they can be put in your bucket. So ultimately, that's what we want to do, is to help keep your fees down so that you can move into your home and have a little more money to put some furniture in there, right?
Yeah, right. But you know, what I suggest is always ask your loan officer to kind of go over the loan estimate with you after they've disclosed the original fees or the estimated fees. And that way you kind of know what's going on until you get to the closing disclosure. And then that's really going to tell you what the final estimated fees are.
Right. But I think there's so many things that get thrown at you when you're not expecting it, so many papers and different numbers, that it's really highly recommended that if you don't understand it, ask a question. And if your lender or your agent doesn't answer, you need to say, okay, if you can't answer, I need someone else to answer. So never sign something that you don't understand.
Exactly.
Right? So now you know what APR is, right? Everybody knows what APR is. So
one-on-one.
I know. And guess who you're going to call when you got questions?
Call
me.
Which way is it? Call Laura.
It's so good to have you here today, Tammy. Thank you so much for explaining that. I'm sure that it has helped someone. But guess what, guys? We actually do have a PDF for you explaining what this is, and it's a sample so that you can see what it looks like. So if you would like to do that, make sure that you sign up with the link, and you can get an instant download of that to put into your home buying education folder. So that is it for us today. Tammy, thank you for being here today. Do you have any ending words?
Just, you know what? Be well, be safe, everybody, and contact me if you have any questions, need me to pre-approve you to get to purchase a home or need to refinance. My information or my number will be at the end of the segment.
It sure will. We have all of our information up. And I am Lori Key. I am the Realty Goddess of Los Angeles, California. I help to establish the community one house at a time. I wish you nothing but love, light, and blessings. Why not go out on a limb? Isn't that where the fruit is?